Momentum. It's the measure of force for an object in motion. The stronger the force, the stronger the momentum. At Tampa Catholic, our momentum is growing. With each passing school day, our students are smarter, they're wiser, more creative, and more innovative. They're brave leaders and soulful followers. They're able athletes and deep thinkers. The Crusader spirit is infectious. We are making an impact and creating a presence. We are a force for change that will make a difference in our community and in our world. Crusaders are committed to their studies, committed to their faith, and committed to each other. Here at Tampa Catholic, we are building, evolving, and we want you to be a part of it.
Really being an example of what the Lord is calling them to do.
Essentially what he's saying, are we the people that see things, but don't really see them?
I'm Principal Bob Lees. Look for the link in the admissions section on our website to sign up for your personal tour and learn how you can be a part of Tampa Catholic's momentum.
Tampa Catholic is so proud of all of their student athletes. Sports at TC allow students to put their character and skills to great use outside of the classroom. TC has 25 sports programs, which are broken up into fall, winter, and spring sports seasons. Many of these teams condition throughout the year by agility training and lifting weights under the tutelage of TC's strength and conditioning coach. Many of the programs have both a varsity and a JV team.
TC Live! We want everyone to know that we are going under a massive renovation project down here at the gym. $4.5 million is going to be spent down here. We've got in the front of our building, actually on the west side, we've got a brand new fitness weight room facility that is going to be built. On the north side of the building, we've got locker rooms, offices and that, and then where I'm standing right now in the lobby area, all of this is going to be completely changed. It's going to be totally renovated, brand new entranceway to the gym. The gym itself is going to go underneath a major renovation. So we're talking, as I said, $4.5 million that's going to be started in about a month's time. So for the 2021-22 season or year, when you guys get here, this is all going to be a totally renovated, beautiful gymnasium.
We are on the air. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from beautiful Crusader Field at Tampa Catholic High School. My name is Max Quevedo. Joining me in the booth tonight will be Johnny Torres. We are the team that will be bringing you the sights and sounds, the thrills and chills, and all the action for tonight's game. Tonight, your hometown heroes, the Tampa Catholic Crusaders, will be taking on the visiting Cypress Creek Coyotes in this first round of this year's 4A playoffs in the Tampa Bay high school football. Johnny, how do you think this game should go tonight?
Yeah, look, well, great to be here, first of all.
Thank you, Johnny.
Shout out to our buddy Felix, who came under the weather and was not able to join us tonight. But, you know, we need to see a big game from the Crusaders. You know, last game was a terrible loss against Jesuit. Obviously, it hurts doubly when it's a rival, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a small loss by any means, but we know from what we've seen this season that this team is capable of a lot more. And so they need to be focused. They need to obviously make completions. Keep it simple. Try not to outrun yourself. You know what I mean? Try not to get caught up in the fact that it's a playoff game, and I think they'll be all right.
That sure is the truth, folks. Even though they lost to Jesuit last week, they need to turn it around in this game. Shoot, if they want to live to see another day. But they got to shake off the loss and keep it going. Johnny, how do you think the momentum will go if they win tonight's game going further in the playoffs?
Yeah, look, again, this team has enormous potential. Not only are they motivated by remembering, the dear coach that passed away,
yes.
But also by the fact that we have a new staff, a new coach that's re-energized this program. And this late in the season, again, especially with as weird as this season has been,
exactly.
It could be really anybody's game. It could be anybody's championship this season, and there's no reason why it can't be Tampa Catholics.
Truer words couldn't be said, Johnny. Folks, the smell of playoff football is in the air once again on Rome Avenue. And you know what? Tonight's the type of night, it's a cool 75 degrees here on Rome. Tonight's the type of night that Hall of Fame Cubs player Ernie Banks would say, hey, let's play too. But you know what, folks? It's playoff football. It's Tampa Catholic football, and it's coming to you next.
Yeah, right now we, of course, are waiting for both teams to be ready on the sidelines. We know we've got the captains there ready for the coin flip. We've got the cheerleaders ready to go. Still waiting on the rest of the team down on the end zones. Looks like we're going to have our coin toss here in just a second. You played, right, for
yes.
Tampa Catholic.
4 years.
So let's dig into that a little bit. In a game as big as this, right, when we're talking about something as simple as the coin toss, what does it mean to have that kind of advantage early on at the start of the game?
Well, especially for this team, Felix, if they can get the coin toss and they're able to get the ball back in their favor, they have to get it going right out of the gate. They cannot come out flat. As we've seen earlier in this season, any time that they've come out flat in the beginning, they've had to claw their way out of a hole that they've dug for themselves. You know what? Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. So tonight they have to get it going right away, and that is the whole key to this game.
Yeah, look, again, this has been a fun team to watch. It's a team that has shown a lot of potential. Seniors-wise, you know better than I do. I mean, they're not losing a whole lot. I mean, they're definitely losing some key players, right?
Yes.
But not a huge number of seniors this year, am I right?
Yeah, you are absolutely right, Johnny. This team is young. They are hungry. They got a fire in their bellies. They're ready to go. Majority of them are freshmen and sophomores. And you know what? They have a lot of young talent on this team, like you said. And you know what? We look forward to seeing this team succeed, not only tonight, but in the coming years.
All right, so right now, just taking a look at the field again, Cypress Creek ready to go on one end. We've got still waiting on Tampa Catholic to line up on the end zone, but I see them coming here in the corner of my eye.
Captains for tonight's Crusaders.
And we turn it over to David here for a second for the opening game announcements.
Number 11, Jacob Chalou. Number 63, Mike Brown. And number 44, Eddie Zanotto. Captains for the Coyotes, number 3, Colin Ostapchuk. Try that out. See how that goes. That's number 3.
All right, so for those of you watching again, welcome to Tampa Catholic Football. Right now you are watching the 2020 FHSAA Football Region Quarterfinal on Tampa Catholic High School social media. That includes Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Thanks to everybody for watching. We've had amazing audiences for these games. Love the comment section because it blows up during every single game. You guys don't get to watch it because normally you guys are the ones paying attention to the game. I'm the one running the broadcast here, but love seeing the chat section fired up. So please go ahead, leave your chats, leave your best wishes for these players. We're getting ready for the Crusaders to storm in here on the north end of the field.
They asked on the field they did not want the 10th of a second on there. That's true. Can I take them off? Yes, I do. Go. I'm going to learn something. Right here.
All right, looks like the Crusaders are ready to go on the north side of the field. We've got the referees, the captains, meeting at the center of the field for the coin toss.
That looks like a minute 20 though.
But I can't use it. We are working on the clock now.
You know, again, one of the things we were talking about before the broadcast was, you know, what a weird year it's been, right? Because simply having some coronavirus cases on your team could have jeopardized your entire season.
Absolutely, Johnny. This year has been a weird year. Heck, we're lucky to even be here right now. You know, there have been other schools in the area that had to shut down their programs because of the uptick in COVID cases. Luckily, we weren't hit too hard by that. And really, no matter what, besides all the COVID cases, it's business as usual for these guys. You know, things may be a little different about the way they approach things to avoid COVID and stuff like that, but you know what? For the time being, they're just focused on going out there and getting the W tonight, Johnny.
And will receive the opening kickoff.
All right. If you didn't hear it there from Mr. David Betancourt, it looks like the Coyotes from Cypress Creek are going to be receiving the kickoff. That means that your Crusaders are going to be kicking this game off here. Do you think that's a better strategy, or do you prefer to receive on an opening possession?
Well, Johnny, the way this team has performed this year, I would honestly prefer it this way, because you know what? This defense has just been absolute dynamite. They have been tough. They have stood out among the best. When they've needed to get the stops, they have. They've couldn't done a better job this year. So you know what? I'm fine with the way the coin went.
Now, you're friends with some of these guys. You played with some of them. What was their take? What's your gauge on how they were affected by the Jesuit game?
Well, Johnny, you know, this year marks 21 years that we've lost to Jesuit. It's just an unfortunate thing. Obviously, going into the season as a Crusader, when you look at the blackboard, first on the list is a state championship. Second on the list is beating Jesuit. You know, and that's just one of those things that if we could have beaten Jesuit this year, it would have made it even better, not only to end the streak, but to win it for Coach David Lewis, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year.
Right.
But you know what? That's just something that you just got to shake it off, you know?
Well, and for some people, that's a motivator, right? I mean, that is certainly a factor that is going to get people to, you want to win it for that legacy. You want to win it for that coach that did so much for this program. And so, you hope that that's how these players take it, because it could be such a huge motivational factor. And it could be a reason they've done so well this season.
Absolutely, Johnny. If they win it all this year, it will be the first football team in this school's history to do it. That would be absolutely amazing, especially it would obviously be for David Lewis. And now we're going to be taking a break for our prayer and the national anthem.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play this game in a manner which, by our words and our actions, is pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with a respect for the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us to be aware of his presence with us in this game. We ask this all through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Well, and on that note, just a quick shout out to all the veterans out there. We just celebrated Veterans Day this week, and obviously we wouldn't be able to enjoy things like an amazing football season here at Tampa Catholic without the men and women who've served our community, especially just down the road here at MacDill Air Force Base. And so just want to give a quick shout out to all the amazing veterans and those veterans we've lost, for their service to our country.
Absolutely, Johnny. Better words couldn't have been said.
All right, so we're getting ready here to get underway with our kickoff. Again, Tampa Catholic will be kicking off, and Cypress Creek Coyotes will be receiving.
And kicking off for the Crusaders, it will be the man with the golden leg, senior Nick Navarro.
What number is back?
So, okay, now you want to go here.
And it is bombs away here at Crusader Field. And now they've got the ball running to his right, and he's going to be caught up in the middle.
Not bad, just short of a 20-yard run there. It's a decent run. Savoy Fagan. Oh, no, sorry. That's that's our roster.
Very good, Johnny.
So looking here, Carlos Gonzalez with the return there for Cypress Creek Coyotes. And again, nice job by the defense holding them under 20.
Absolutely. And now here we go, folks. The first offensive play of the game. And they're going to run it up the gut, and they're going to go nowhere. Looks like it's going to be no gain as he was buried under a pile of green shirts. That's going to bring up a second down for Cypress Creek.
Yeah, that was a great stop by Crusaders number 50, Baraka Andrews, making sure they didn't get a lot of progress there.
You know what, folks? They call Baraka Andrews king, and you know what? If he can do that all game, he sure will be king. And now they're going to run it up the middle again. It looks like they're going to get maybe a little bit. Oh. Well, somebody just came tumbling out of the pile. It looks like senior number 88, Cole Essick. Don't know what happened there, but you know
that's
what?
That's a big mismatch too, because Kyle there has probably about 2 to almost 3 feet on the guy that he just took down.
Exactly.
Number 70 for the Coyotes, Adam Shaka.
It's going to be a third down for Cypress Creek.
Oh, got him moving. Can't let that happen. Good move by the Coyotes to get the Crusaders to move on the clock there. But that's gonna cost them some yards here.
Definitely, and that's something that they've worked on all season, Johnny, and that is just trying to shorten the penalties. They've done a good job recently, but if they want to come out on top tonight, they cannot do it that much.
And quarterback for the Coyotes is 5'7" Andrew Burgess, Jr. Trying to get them moving again. Looking to the sideline for some additional instructions. Looks like they're going to do an audible here.
Looks like we're at a little bit of a stalemate here.
Well, they're trying to get him off guard again.
And they're going to drop back the pass. Fires downfield. Incomplete. Holy Toledo.
Burgess pass incomplete.
Well, incomplete pass there, but again, good coverage, no flags on the play, which again, last game I got to say was also seemingly a major issue. A lot of penalties there, and that's how you get those extra yards added up. That's how you get your opposition into scoring position.
Exactly. And now it's going to be crunch time for Cypress Creek as it is 4th and short. Well, maybe about 4th and 5, it looks like.
Again, welcome to everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope.
They're going to try to draw us off sides.
This is Tampa Catholic Crusader football.
Try to draw us off sides. Watch.
Yeah, I don't think those clapping tricks are going to work much more against these Crusaders.
They're just going to punt it It's a high punt. Finally comes down out of the lights, and it will be the Crusaders' ball.
High punt by the Coyotes there. Great field position for the Crusaders. Starting on about the 47, 48 yard line, you want to make sure that they capitalize on this. I mean, they couldn't ask for better field position.
Absolutely not. And as the Crusader offensive unit takes the field, what do you think the key will be for this first drive by the Crusaders, Johnny?
Well, again, early on in the game, you want to keep it simple. You want to make sure that you're not stretching, yourself too far. You're not going for the trick plays or anything too difficult. Stick to what works. Stick to the basics. Move the ball down the field, especially when you have such great field position.
Exactly. And they're going to toss it off to the right. He's running upfield. There he goes. Going. It's Holy Toledo on the first play by the Tampa Catholic Crusaders. It's a touchdown, and they're on the board. It's Tampa Catholic 6, Cypress Creek nothing.
Well, again, that's a perfect example of what we were just talking about. Keep it simple. That is a very sweet, basic running play. He went to the right, found that pocket, and just took it on.
Oh boy, that was a beauty, Johnny.
Yeah, look, shout out to number 3, Raphael Ecke, 5'10" senior, who, again, right out of the gate, making a great impression tonight.
Here we go for the extra point. Uh-oh, it's botched. And,
now we're seeing some flags, but I think that's going to be on the Coyotes. They got pretty rough there, even despite the fact that they were able to successfully stop the kick. We'll see what the refs say.
I mean, it looked like a decent snap. It just looked like the holder just couldn't get it down, but at that point, they were already coming through the line.
Well, again, you got split seconds, and if one thing that you might want to note about this Coyote team is that while size-wise they may not be comparable to the Crusaders, right? They may be a little bit on the shorter scale.
Exactly.
That means they're quicker.
Yes.
And that's what you want to look for, and that is what makes them dangerous. And now we see that right there on that blocked kick.
Well, folks, the Coyotes are going to be taking the field to receive the ball, even though that the extra point kind of got botched a little bit. The Crusaders are still up 6-0. Now, let's just hope that the Crusader defensive unit can come out and get a quick stop.
On the Crusaders.
All right, so it did actually go the other way. So it looks like it's a flags on the Crusaders, unsportsmanlike conduct, which again you don't want to have in this kind of a situation. Losing about 10 yards on this kickoff here. Real quick before we have this kickoff, let's see if I can squeeze it. No, I'm not going to get in that announcement. So let's go ahead for the kickoff here for the second possession of the game. The third possession, technically.
Woo! Oh my goodness, when that ball comes down, it might be in the next county, but
Nicely done.
Navarro's just going to kick it into the end zone.
Holds them back, again, puts them in, again, defensive territory. And again, this so far is a team that has not figured out how to get around this Crusader defense. Rights to the webcast of this region quarterfinal in the 2020 FHSAA Class 4A Football Championship have been granted to Tampa Catholic High School social media channels by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited.
We're set to go. It looks like they're going to run the ball, but you know what, folks? To no avail. Holy Toledo. They got stopped in their tracks.
Carry for about a 6-yard loss. Bring up second and 16.
6-yard loss there by the Coyotes. Again, not looking good early on in this game. And even though, like you said, we were talking about momentum early on in the game, they were receiving. They received the opening kickoff. Didn't really seem to be able to capitalize on that. And now we see them with a loss of 6 here in their second possession.
It's going to be a second and long for Cypress Creek as they're going to run it again up the middle. And this time they're going to be able to pick up some ground, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be third and long for Cypress Creek.
Well, and I'll tell you the big issue that the Coyotes have right now. Again, number one, Andrew Burgess, their quarterback, only 5'7". You look, just looking at the field, you can tell that, this defensive line is significantly larger.
Exactly.
And so getting a pass off is also not going to be easy against the Crusaders.
Certainly true, Johnny.
I don't know if it's indecision or strategy, but he seems to go to the sidelines a lot, before he gets the snap.
And he's going to pass to his
interception.
Holy Toledo! He might go all the way!
Who is that?
6. That is Dee Dee Snyder, senior, 6-foot senior.
Senior Dee Dee Snyder on the interception and return for touchdown.
Holy Toledo, folks. The Crusaders are storming out of the gate tonight, as now it is a 12-0 lead. And you know what, Johnny? That is exactly what we were talking about that needed to happen. And guess what? Right now they're getting the job done.
Well, again, as we were saying right before the game started, when you have a loss like you did against Jesuit, you can do two things. You can let it get in your head, and you can have it bring you down, or you can leverage that anger, that passion for a win.
Exactly. And meanwhile, Navarro punches it through for his first extra point of the night. It is now Tampa Catholic 13, Cypress Creek nothing.
All right, we're seeing some very happy coaches on the sideline, as they should be. Again, so far they're looking good. No mistakes, not a lot of flags on the field. We just got to make sure that this issue, because there's a little bit of tension going on, doesn't escalate to anything further. From FHSAA, sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, play fair. This message provided by this station and the FHSAA.
And now Navarro's getting set to kick the ball away again.
Now, again, you've been broadcasting every game this season. Where do you think they have made the mistakes that we're not seeing tonight so far?
Well, Johnny, really some of the mistakes can be attributed to mentality.
Touchback for Navarro.
Sometimes when you get in the hole early, you really can't come mentally. Sometimes it's hard to come back. But they've really cut down on the mistakes. They've done an absolutely tremendous job this year. They, like we talked about earlier, they've cut down on the flags. As long as they keep it to just the basics, you know what? They've been able to score and score quickly, and really they've done a tremendous job.
And so what do you think is the factor, the difference that we're seeing so far between this Tampa Catholic team that's looking solid, right, and the Tampa Catholic team we saw against Jesuit?
Well, really, they're not, like we were talking about before, they're not letting it get in their head. They seem unfazed. They know they're good. They just have to go out and prove it. They just have to go out and show it. They've already proven it this season. The record reflects that. They just, they're playing up to their abilities right now. They're not, as long as they can keep themselves cool and just go out and play, they'll be able to get it done tonight.
50, Barack King Andrews, and number 88, Cole Essex.
Coyotes again with a 3-yard deficit.
And they're going to pass again, and he's going to be able to get the ball off, but it looks like it's going to go incomplete. Try to go over the middle, but to no avail.
Well, Crusaders number 4, Lewis Carter, looking hungry there for another interception. Not a great pass. You saw that Coyotes receiver kind of stretch for it, but Carter for the Crusaders was ready to catch it if he had the chance.
Absolutely, and number 4, Luke Carter, he's just one of the young, superb talents that they have on this team that really, he can do it all. You can put him at quarterback, running back, a linebacker, safety, whatever. It doesn't matter. Wherever you put him, he'll get the job done.
Well, and this early in your football career, you definitely want to be versatile because you're still growing, you're still changing, even through your college years. Oh, looks like a sack.
And holy Toledo, folks! It's a sack by the Crusader defense.
Barack King Andrews on the sack.
And it looks like that was the big guy, Barack King Andrews, with the sack. And you know what? Cypress Creek is continuing to take that march back. And right now it's not looking too good for them as it is now 4th down.
All right, again, shout out to everybody in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. I mean, what does this mean for you being a former player? You know, what does it mean, you know, to be in a playoff game like this?
It's, you know, it's the best feeling in the world, Johnny. You've worked all year to get to the playoffs. I mean, you know, my senior year, we had to go through a lot of adversity, you know, at a certain point of the year. You know, one of our leaders, he got injured. That would be David Hoyt, who's now up at West Point, up in New York. You know, after he got injured, it just kind of deflated. But you know what? As soon as we got to the playoffs, we went down to, I believe we played Cypress Creek. We won that. And then we went down to, I know we went down to Miami-Dade, and we beat American Heritage. And really, that road trip really turned it on for us. And it made it a very special postseason, even though we went on to lose. But for these guys, it's even more so. Because with the whole year the way it's gone, they've had to go through their own adversity. And how this season is dedicated to former head coach David Lewis, how it's dedicated to him.
Yeah.
So really, that is one of the driving factors behind this team to win, to do good, and to ultimately win a state championship. Because really, that would be the icing on the cake.
All right, as we get back to the action on the field, looks like the Tampa Catholic Crusaders going to tick it up on the 50-yard line here after another punt from the Coyotes after 4 downs with nothing, not much to show for it.
Smiley and Hill in the backfield.
And they're going to run it again, trying to run it outside, but he's brought down quickly. It'll be 2nd and pretty much about 10 for the Crusaders.
Well, Tony Hill there, number 1, looking to kind of repeat the success that we saw by Dee Snyder. You know, it looked almost like the same play even.
Yes.
But I would have been pretty surprised if they would have gotten away with that. But so far, again, if it's working, stick with it, right? And
exactly.
So the running game seems to be working for the Crusaders. Let's hope they continue to stick with it.
Especially after last week when they came out against Jesuit with the passing game. It really didn't work at all during the game. I'm just glad that they're doing it, as Tone Hill is going to get the pitch and run it up the middle. He's going to gain a good chunk of yards, but there is a flag on the field.
Flag on the plate.
Let's see what this is going to be.
Well, that was a great pitch to Tone Hill there. Again, great run. Got about 8-9 yards out of the deal. Let's see what this flag is.
Holding green 13.
All right. So we're getting word that it's holding on Tampa Crusaders number 13, Matthew Mountain, junior, 6 foot. And that's unfortunately going to wipe out the progress they just made, and then some.
And they're going to take that long walk back. And now it's going to be 2nd and long for the Crusaders. Now they're looking to repeat some of that magic. They're going to pitch it again to his right. Tone Hill's going to run upfield, and he's going to be brought down.
Picks up about 8.
But you know what? It looks like they're just about back where they started, although now it's going to be a 3rd down. Right now they're looking to make the big play, Johnny.
Yeah, look, I mean, heck, if Tone Hill can get 8 yards every time you hand it off to him, then by all means, I mean, let's go ahead and continue to do that. I mean, he just basically got them back to the line of scrimmage from where they started, and now hopefully we can add on to that. You know, again, unnecessary penalties always going to work against you, but Tone Hill able to kind of equalize that penalty here in that last possession.
Do you think they'll go with the run or the pass on this play?
I think they're going to stick with what's working, and right now the running game seems to be doing well for the Crusaders.
Uh-oh, and they are going to run the ball again. Johnny Torres is a prophet as he's running up the sideline.
Looks like they're going to give it to him. Let's see. Maybe.
Around left end.
That was Jamie Smiley with the carry.
Nope, just short of the 1st down.
Brings up
Looks
4th
like,
and 1.
yeah, 4th and inches there. But a great run by Crusaders, Jamie Smiley. who's a junior, 6'1" junior. Again, one of the biggest and most obvious signs here about this matchup is the disparity between the height and the players. And that seems to be working, I think, to the Crusaders' advantage.
Absolutely. And it looks like head coach Jarris McIntyre will roll the dice on 4th down as they're going to try and get the first. Let's see. They're going to run it up the middle, and they're going to get it easy. Holy Toledo. The Crusaders were able to crawl out of that hole. It's a first down, and it looks like they still got the momentum on their side as a little over 3 minutes left in the quarter.
Yeah, clock's still running, and that's exactly what you want. You want to continue to capitalize on that momentum. They didn't let that penalty get to them.
Absolutely.
They refocused, and again, the running game working incredibly well for them. You don't break you don't fix what isn't broken, and I think we're going to see a lot more runs from this Crusader offense.
And after having to claw their way back, it's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Crusaders as they get set to go. And they're going to pitch it again to the right side. Oh my goodness, he found the hole and broke through. Holy Toledo. He's going to be brought down, but you know what, folks? He picked up a lot of yards on that one.
That was
Now,
victorious catch.
let me tell you what, watching him just take off on that run, that kid has amazing speed. We didn't get to see too much of it. I hope we get to see more of it. Number 19, Jacorius Demps. Okay, he's a junior, 5'8", but holy cow, man, those legs were spinning, and Cypress Creek got lucky and able to stop him because I'm telling you, that kid has got speed, and I hope we get to see it again later on in the game.
He's just like a 747 on takeoff. As they're going to run it again to the outside, and he's going to break back into the middle.
Number 21, Covington on the carry.
And it looks like it was number 21,
KJ
Covington,
Yep.
on the carry.
You know, a stockier guy compared to most of your running backs, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And again, I mean, it just seems like right now this running game is unstoppable. They are, again, just shy of a first down, but literally 1 yard shy. They're averaging 8 to 9 yards per carry.
Absolutely. He's just another one of the great horses that they have in their stable. And they're going to run it again up the middle.
There we go.
And you can put it on the board. Yes! Senior Rafa Kichi with the carry. He went all the way in for the touchdown. Holy Toledo.
It's beautiful. I mean, again, what more can you ask for? A nice, solid, clean run up the middle for another 6 on the board. I mean, these Crusaders are looking fantastic tonight. If this Crusader team continues to play like this, there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the state championship.
Oh my goodness, Johnny. Anything can happen if they're playing like this. And with that, the score is now TC 19, Cypress Creek 0. And Navarro is back to kick the extra point. And just like always, it's good. And with that, the score is now Tampa Catholic 20, Cypress Creek nothing.
All right. Tonight's game in the 2020 FHSAA Class 4A Football Championship is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 800 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida's student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. The Florida High School Athletic Association, building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship. On that note, also want to give a quick shout out to Courtney Frisch, who is in the administration here as a special events director, Principal Lees, and athletic director Coach Don DeZagua, who've allowed us to come in and broadcast these games all season long and bring you Tampa Catholic football to all corners of the world. And thank you and to Felix, who couldn't be with us tonight, for the great job you guys have done in announcing these games.
And one more person I'd like to thank is Assistant Athletic Director Benny Rodriguez, who he's the glue, one of the glues that holds this football program together. You know,
Absolutely.
He's the guy that's always there that you can count on in a pinch. He just does so much for this program, for this school, and I just love to thank him for being a part of our team this year.
Yeah, well, thank you and for bringing that up because again, you know, they took a chance on seeing if this live streaming thing would be a solution, being that we're at limited capacity here due to coronavirus, and it's actually been a huge success. We've had thousands of people watching each of these games every week after week.
From here in Tampa, from out of state, you know what? People do love them some Crusader football, as Cypress Creek is going to run it up the middle, but he's going to go nowhere as he's immediately brought down by a pile of green jerseys. It's going to bring up a second down for Cypress Creek.
Well, that was number 1, quarterback Andrew Burgess on that carry there, and again, we haven't seen any passes from this team, even though their running game doesn't seem to be working either. So you have to wonder, is there something about their passing game that they're not confident in? They must reach a point, I'm guessing soon, where they're going to want to try something else.
And now it's going to be a second down for the Coyotes, as they're still trying to decide what to do. They're going to go for the pass, and it's going to be complete. Oh my goodness, they were able to get the pass off, but you know what? He got pushed all the way back. It's going to be a third down for the Coyotes, and this Crusader defense is really rolling now.
You know, in politics, they talk about the red wave and the blue wave. That was
Exactly.
the green wave
Oh,
right there.
my goodness.
I mean, you had about half a dozen Crusaders pushing back that Coyote right there for a loss of yards. And we're seeing almost a Groundhog Day effect here happening with each possession for these Coyotes. And again, the Crusaders look absolutely amazing tonight.
They truly are. When they are on, they are the big green machine, folks. And right now, that looks to be the case. They're going to pass again, and he was almost swallowed up. Whoa! Looked like a little flea flicker that tried to go for the bomb downfield, but you know what? To no avail. It's an incomplete pass, and now it's going to be a fourth down for Cypress Creek.
Well, and that's going to be the end of the quarter there. And again, thank you to everybody watching, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope. The FHSAA is now also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Tweet us, like us, and tag us on your social media platforms by searching for FHSAA. Keep up with the teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. Be a fan of all of it by following us on social media at FHSAA. You know, really, I don't know that there's much more that we can say other than whatever they are doing. This running game looks fantastic tonight. The defense looks fantastic tonight. I'm excited about this first quarter.
Absolutely, Johnny. And you know what? I don't want to call it too early, but you know, if the Crusaders stay on like they are, I know it's a playoff game, but if they keep going in the direction that they're going, we may see a running clock in the second half.
Yeah.
And really, Cypress Creek doesn't want that.
No team wants that. Really, you know, and not that they came from too far. You know, Cypress Creek is from neighboring Pasco County. It's a fairly new school, you know, which is also one of the things that has going against it, you know, not a lot of years of recruitment in the works.
As Cypress Creek is going to punt the ball away, it's going to roll out of bounds, and now the Crusaders are going to get the ball back.
Well, and it looks like we are, looks like the punt there continues to get weaker and weaker after every possession. You know, it was hitting at around the 50-yard line, and now it seems to be regressing as that one was closer to a 40, 45-yard punt.
And now with the second quarter underway, the Crusader offensive unit is going to be taking the field in very good field position. I mean, obviously with the way the game's been going, we probably expect them to run the ball. I mean, we'd really be surprised if they didn't. And of course, they're going to go to the pitch. They're going to run it to the left, and he's going to run it through the hole. He's going to pick up a lot of yards on that one.
Well, and that was like a nice angle there, even though he already had some Coyotes on him. You know, number 4, Lewis Carter there, kind of, you saw him angle there right towards the end, which just that little move right there got him an extra 4 or 5 yards. And again, he's just doing amazing things with his running game tonight.
One great sign that we've seen so far in this game for the Crusaders is that they've been able to read the holes really well. They're able to pick him up, and you know, they're able to charge through it to pick up the yards that they need to get. And now it's going to be a second down, and they're going to pitch to the right. It's Luke Carter. Oh!
Losing his footing there.
Carter loses his footing.
You know, you stick with what works, and in that situation, he just lost his footing there. Wasn't really a whole lot more he could do there. I mean, fortunately, it wasn't for a loss of yards.
Nope.
Held on to the ball, which is important, but might need to get those cleats checked.
I really hope that doesn't discourage them because you know what? They all can't go the way you want.
Right.
But I hope that doesn't really change their mindset at all because right now they're playing a heck of a football game. And now it's going to be a third down for the Crusaders. And they're going to pass the ball, throwing a bomb downfield.
Oh, flag for sure on that one. Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Even the referee threw it with much gusto because, man, there was no hiding that pass interference there.
Shoot, he had a lot of mustard on that flag throw. Goodness gracious.
He about threw it into the Hillsborough River.
He threw it as hard as they just threw that ball.
Yeah.
Now let's see what it's going to be.
They declined something.
Smiley's pass
So incomplete on the pass.
to Williams. Incomplete.
But I don't know. No, we're not getting any word on what the flag was.
Looks like we have offsetting penalties, but we don't know which ones.
Well, we
All right.
just got some clarification from our stadium announcer, David Betancourt. And now they're going to run the ball again to the left side. And he's going to get, whoa! He's going to get, it's more like he got pushed out of bounds than ran out of bounds.
Yeah,
And there is another flag.
Another flag on the play, holding Crusaders.
And it looks like that other flag will be holding on the Crusaders. And now they're going to be taking that long walk again.
Well, that was a nice solid run there by Raphael Akechi. But looks like this penalty is going to be against the Crusaders, unfortunately. But I mean, it was a pretty rough push there, to get them on the sidelines. Not sure what the flag was on the Crusaders.
And you know what? At this point of the game, they're up 20-0, but they can't let things like this creep in on their game plan because right now they can't get sloppy because on any given Sunday, especially they've done it this year too. On any given Sunday, any team can come back and fight their way back to make it close.
Well, and if they haven't been in scoring position until now, you certainly don't want to give them that opportunity on penalties.
And Jamie Smiley is going to throw a bomb downfield. Caught! It's caught! Holy Toledo! And he's going to run his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders! Oh my goodness!
Cannot say about how beautiful that pass was. Very high. Okay, but also just the vision that A.J. Williams had to pause, wait, because he saw it was going to be a little bit short, and that gave him enough distance between him and the coverage to make it into the end zone.
That is some classic Crusader football that you just saw right there, folks. And now the score is Tampa Catholic 26, Cypress Creek nothing, and Navarro will go for the extra point again.
We get 35 before halftime. Let's do it. Yeah, but either way, the clock doesn't start running until once both coaches agree.
And just like usual, folks, it's business as usual as Navarro will punch it through for the extra point. The score is now Tampa Catholic 27, Cypress Creek nothing. Well,
look, you can never underappreciate, a consistent kicker. And any Florida State fan will tell you that. And so while it may seem like it's just 1 point, again, these points add up. I mean, he got blocked on the first one.
Absolutely.
He's made 3 consecutive field goals there, but that's 3 points on the board that continues to give them that edge in this game.
And we have seen a couple of games earlier in the season where, it has come down to just those little things. The extra point here.
Right.
The field goal attempt there. It's just, you take what you can get for sure. And you know what? You just keep it simple. Because you don't want to risk it and then not get it and then have it come back to bite you later in the game. But right now, it looks like that's not going to be the case either way. But, you know what? That's just the way it is.
All right, we're waiting here for the kickoff
Simmons
by the
back deep
Crusaders.
For the Coyotes, awaiting Navarro's kick.
If any of the previous kickoffs have been any indication, they'll probably let this one be a touchback, so the Coyotes can start on the 20-yard line.
A little bit of a line drive kick downfield. Oh, whoa.
That was close. That was close. That one bounced in and bounced out. Luckily for the Coyotes.
Coyotes take over on the 20.
Talk about pinpoint accuracy on that kick. And now as the Coyotes get the ball, it is 9:47 left in the quarter. Well, left in the half.
But again, you know, this team has been consistent. They're making the most of their time on the field. Again, they don't want to get too carried away with these flags. You know, they're mounting up pretty quickly on this team. They need to refocus on what got them here to this 27-0.
And now they're going to run the ball to the left side, fighting his way through traffic, but he's going to be stopped. Ooh, sorry about that, folks.
Stopped by Jacob Chalou.
So that was 14 for the Coyotes there. Carlos Gonzalez, again, 5'9", and number 14 there, 5'9", 160. He is graduating this year, so he's one of their seniors. But again, height seems to be one of the issues this Coyote team has, especially against the Crusaders.
Absolutely. Now it is second down for the Coyotes as they're going to try and run it up the middle again, but I don't know if he got tackled or he just went down, but he took a pretty hard fall right in the middle. And now it's going to be a third down for the Coyotes.
Well, you have to wonder sometimes, you know, if you're running the ball and you don't get that resistance, you're expecting that resistance, right? Because you're running into traffic. You know, you wonder if, like, you know, you're kind of missing that step because you were expecting to get pushback and all of a sudden it's not there. So again, you kind of just fall into it.
Absolutely. Third down for the Coyotes now. Let's see what they're going to do. Oh my goodness, another flag on the field. Looks like they were trying to go for the clap routine again. Let's see what it's going to be this time.
Yeah, it looks like it is going to be on the Coyotes. Yeah, false start. You know, and this is one of the tactics they've been using, again, since their first possession. Hasn't really paid off for them other than the very first time.
Exactly.
You know, they really need to just focus on trying to gain some ground here and trying to get into scoring position.
They gotta come up with something quick because right now they're in a big hole. I mean, well, it looks like they are going to try and change something. A little pass over the top. It's going to be complete, but it's really not going to do anything as it's going to be a fourth down for the Coyotes.
Well, and as we were talking about penalties, if they had not just had that one penalty against them, they'd be in first down range.
Exactly.
And now they're basically at the line of scrimmage, and so they're starting from scratch. Probably going to lose the possession here.
And really, you know, I like what the Coyotes are trying to do. They're trying to go for the Doug Flutie-esque way of playing the game.
That was a nice little lob there. That was.
It was. And they're going to, whoa, holy Toledo, a block punt. And goodness gracious, the Crusaders are in tremendous field position.
Well, definitely not what these Coyotes wanted, especially not when they're when they're down 27 points. You know, great job again by this Crusader defensive line that has just been outstanding all night. Yeah, they've been making some mistakes here and there, but overall they've been really just a force to be reckoned with.
And with that block punt, it is 7:41 left in the half. And the Crusaders are really, I mean, they're not only knocking on the door now, they're getting ready to kick the door in. And let's see what they're going to do. And they're going to run it again up the middle. It looks like number 21, KJ Covington with a carry.
Covington with a carry.
He didn't pick up too much, but you know what? A yard's a yard, whatever way you can get it. And with that, it's going to be a second down for the Crusaders.
Second and about 4.
Now, whoa. Give us a second, folks. That last play was kind of hard to see.
Well, it was just a bad pass. I mean, it was a lateral pass there to the outside. Again, this close to the end zone. Any of these guys, if they get the opportunity, are going to be able to run it into the end zone, just based on what we've seen so far.
Center in the green for the Crusaders.
Just not a solid pass, you know, and then it seemed like it was just outside the reach for our Crusaders there.
And now entering the game for the Crusaders, it is Jacorius Demps and Matthew Mountain. Now it is going to be... It's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Crusaders, and they're going to try and run the ball again outside. Oh my goodness, he got on his horse trying to pick up as much ground as he could. That was again all reliable number 5, Jamie Smiley.
Brings up 4th and 3.
I think.
Oh no, that's even.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be a 4th down for the Crusaders, and they're going to go for it. Oh,
Offsides.
and they just got it. It appears to be offsides on the Coyotes.
Well, and you would think, you know, the Coyotes have been trying to throw the Crusaders offsides the entire game, but they would be a little bit more aware of making sure that they're not jumping offsides.
Exactly.
All right, we got a timeout here, referee timeout, a water break for these two teams. Again, tonight's game in the 2020 FHSAA Class 4A Football Championship is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 800 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida's student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. The Florida High School Athletic Association, building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship.
There's a need for officials at all levels and all sports. We can help fill those needs. We invite you to join the thousands of men and women in the Florida High School Athletic Association contest officials. These men and women play vital roles in the integrity of the...
Again, a quick little shout out to everybody watching the game today on Facebook, YouTube. We are following your comments here. Let's go TC, says Chuck Glass. John Davidson, amen. Keep that thing on the ground. Pound the rock. Talking about the running game that has been working so well for this Crusader team.
And now they're getting set to go again. They're really knocking on the door now. Let's see. Looks like Covington's going to run it all the way in for a touchdown. Holy Toledo. They absolutely kicked the door in on that last series, folks. And now the score is Tampa Catholic 33, Cypress Creek nothing.
Well, and nothing, I think, could feel better than being up by 33 points, after, again, a devastating loss last week against Jesuit. Going into the postseason, they needed to have a big game tonight, and that's exactly what's happening.
Exactly. Now Navarro's back to kick again. He's going to punch it through as usual. The score is now Tampa Catholic 34, Cypress Creek nothing. And, we were talking about it before the game. Everything that they needed to do so far, they've done it. And you know what? It really reflects on the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
And I mean, right now, I don't know if they can really do anything else different because right now, just everything is going in their favor.
No, they're hitting on all cylinders. And again, this is where, coaches will tell you, you stick with what's working, you keep it simple, stick to the basics, and minimize penalties, right? Make every effort to not make any mistakes.
Absolutely.
One of the things I noticed was the Coyotes' number 14, Carlos Gonzalez. Again, what I told you is, while they might be a shorter team, they have a lot of speed on that team. They just haven't been able to capitalize on it against this Crusader defense.
I mean, do you think that they just need to start finding the holes like the Crusaders are doing so far?
They need to try something different. I think they're trying to go up the middle too much. They may need to go wide.
And now a good kick downfield. Looks like the Coyotes are going to get a good return on that one. And now that they take over the ball, it's going to be 4:46 left in the half. And really, if I were the Coyotes right now, they want to come away from the first half with at least something. They don't want to go into the locker room with a big goose egg on the board.
Well, an interesting strategy here by the Crusaders because they basically gave them that kick to force them to run it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we've seen them get consistent touchbacks here on every kickoff. And here they're forcing them to engage in this game. They're forcing them to run the ball.
And now the Coyotes are going to run the ball again to, it looks like, the left side, but really there's no place to go as a pile of green jerseys just comes tumbling to the ground. And now it's going to be a 2nd and long for the Coyotes.
All right, we've seen number 15 coming in for your Crusaders, Anthony Berger Jr., 6 foot. Again, 6 foot junior. I mean, the size on this team is unbelievable.
And now with the 2nd and long for the Coyotes. Looks like they're still looking at the sideline trying to figure out what to do right now. And let's see. They're going to run the ball again to his right and up the middle, and again, nowhere to go. I mean, I don't know if they're just not getting the hint or what. I mean, they're trying to do the same thing over and over again, and right now it's not working at all for the Coyotes.
Well, what we've seen work for them though has been the short passing game,
Exactly.
and then going to the outside. Although they're not doing enough of it, they continue to try to run up the middle. Again, even though this defensive line has shown time and time again that that's not going to work.
Exactly. And now coming into the game for the Crusaders, it will be number 88, senior Cole Essick. Now they're going to run it again. Oh my goodness, the ball got loose. But the Coyotes are able to recover.
Coyotes lose several yards in the paint.
Right now,
16.
pretty much right now, the Coyotes got buzzard's luck. They can't find anything living or dead. Right now, it's going to be 4th and long for the Coyotes. And at this point of the game, as you would expect, the Coyotes are looking to punt the ball on 4th down. Just waiting to see when they get set to go.
Well, here's one of the taller players on their team, 6'2", Merrick Simmons for the Coyotes.
Would you say, is that the tallest guy on their team?
No, they have 6'5". He's certainly one of them, but I think they max out at 6'5" with Ron Rivera, 200 pounds, number 44, wide receiver, defensive lineman.
Certainly seeing a lot of 5-somethings on that list.
Yeah.
Now they're going to punt the ball, a high kick to just about right before midfield. What'd you say? Can't really see it. Did it go out of bounds?
Looks like it might have just gone out of bounds. Sorry, we're having some issues here in the press box seeing out the glass windows, but looks like it's going to be the 36, 37 yard line there. Yeah, open them.
Sorry, folks, if it looks a little bit different, we're going to have to stand up a little bit, try and finish off the half. And they're going to run the ball to the left side. Still fighting up the sideline. And they just keep on rolling, folks. Looks to be another carry by Jacorius Demps. It's going to be a second down for the Crusaders.
Well, and a shout out to all the fans that are here tonight. Great turnout for tonight's game. Again, we are on the home side. We're certainly at capacity for coronavirus restrictions, but.
And they're going to hand the ball off again to the right side. Tone Hill with another tremendous carry.
Hill on the carry for the first down, Crusaders.
And the chains are going to continue to move as that's another first down for the Crusaders, and they're still continuing to roll as we are now under a minute left in the half. I mean, do you think they're going to try and go for another one, Johnny? Or
Oh,
what?
absolutely. I mean, you know, why not? I mean, again, this is where, again, you can start to have a little bit of fun. 34 points ahead. You can maybe try some of these bigger plays, some of these trick plays that you've been holding on to. I think we'll start to see some of that from Tampa Catholic.
It's going to be a new set of downs for the Crusaders. And they're going to pitch it to the right side, running up the sideline, finding his way through. Holy Toledo. He is going to pick up the first down, but there will be a flag on the play.
Yeah, and it's going to be on the Crusaders.
It appears to be that it was number 20, Adrian Ramsey, with the carry. Let's see.
Oh, they're bringing them back quite a bit.
And with 15 seconds left in the half, they're going to be taking that long walk back.
D.D. Snyder coming into the game.
Just one of the old
Along
reliables
with
on this
Jamie
team.
Smiley. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got senior D.D. Snyder there and junior, but both over 6 feet. 6'1" for Smiley, 6 foot for Snyder. So it's a blocking below the waist on the Crusaders.
They decline the whole, they just take one, so they took the...
Oof, but it looks like quite a bit of yardage there.
Oh my goodness. You know, we were talking about some of the guys coming in and out of the game, especially on this last one. D.D. Snyder, who is committed to Illinois. And then as Jamie Smiley drops back, throws a bomb downfield. Incomplete. Well, you know what?
Too far ahead of that receiver. You know, but again, with 15 seconds left on the clock, I mean, you know, what other choice do you really have in that situation? You know, and really, there's nothing to lose there, especially as we go into the half here with 4 seconds left on the clock.
Let's see. It's going to be second and long for the Crusaders. We anticipate they're just going to pass the ball and see what comes of it. As they get set to go. They're going to pass the ball again. Smiley over the middle. Caught! Holy Toledo! You can't put on the board! Yes! A beautiful pass by Jamie Smiley. Holy Toledo, they just keep on rolling. Man, this green machine cannot be stopped. As the score is now Tampa Catholic 40, Cypress Creek nothing.
Well, you know, and if this were basketball, I mean, that would have literally been the buzzer beater because there was only 4 seconds on the clock, and for the Crusaders to pull out a big play like that, I mean, that's the kind of fun you want to see them having on the field.
Absolutely, and that was very similar to the play we saw earlier in the game, and I think it was the last touchdown, that literally just a perfect pass, you know,
Right.
not trying to do a whole lot. It placed perfectly. That one looked to be a little bit more perfect than the last one. You didn't have to hold up to get it, but you know what? It does not matter, folks. As Navarro kicks it through, it is now Tampa Catholic 41, Cypress Creek nothing, and that's the end of the first half.
All right, once again, thank you so much for watching Tampa Catholic football. Don't forget the FHSAA is now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Tweet us, like us, and tag us on your social media platforms by searching for FHSAA. Keep up with the teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. Be a fan of it all by following us on social media at FHSAA. More football action from Crusader Field in Tampa, Florida, with Max Quevedo and Johnny Torres coming to you here on this FHSAA playoff game. We'll be right back after this.
Momentum. It's the measure of force for an object in motion. The stronger the force, the stronger the momentum. At Tampa Catholic, our momentum is growing. With each passing school day, our students are smarter, they're wiser, more creative, and more innovative. They're brave leaders and soulful followers. They're able athletes and deep thinkers. The Crusader spirit is infectious. We are making an impact and creating a presence. We are a force for change that will make a difference in our community and in our world. Crusaders are committed to their studies, committed to their faith, and committed to each other. Here at Tampa Catholic, we are building, evolving, and we want you to be a part of it.
Really being an example of what the Lord is calling them to do.
Essentially what he's saying, are we the people that see things, but don't really see them?
I'm Principal Bob Lees. Look for the link in the admissions section on our website to sign up for your personal tour and learn how you can be a part of Tampa Catholic's momentum.
Tampa Catholic is so proud of all of their student athletes. Sports at TC allow students to put their character and skills to great use outside of the classroom. TC has 25 sports programs, which are broken up into fall, winter, and spring sports seasons. Many of these teams condition throughout the year by agility training and lifting weights under the tutelage of TC's strength and conditioning coach. Many of the programs have both a varsity and a JV team.
TC We want everyone to know that we are going under a massive renovation project down here at the gym. $4.5 million is going to be spent down here. We've got in the front of our building, actually on the west side, we've got a brand new fitness weight room facility that is going to be built. On the north side of the building, we've got locker rooms, offices and that, and then where I'm standing right now in the lobby area, all of this is going to be completely changed. It's going to be totally renovated, brand new entranceway to the gym. The gym itself is going to go underneath a major renovation. So we're talking, as I said, $4.5 million that's going to be started in about a month's time. So for the 2021-22 season or year, when you guys get here, this is all going to be a totally renovated, beautiful gymnasium.
The arts at Tampa Catholic play as important of a role in preparing our students for their future as anything else that we do here. We recognize how important it is to foster creativity in our students. That is why Tampa Catholic offers 17 different performing and fine arts electives. All freshmen take a semester of Introduction to Performing Arts during their first year here, and then continue to foster their creativity during their time at Tampa Catholic by offering them different electives such as painting, ceramics, film, yearbook, stagecraft, and acting. We also have various honor societies which recognize our students' success in the arts. The Art Honor Society and International Thespian Society both meet regularly on campus and serve as spaces where students can continue to grow in their artistic endeavors. The future Bellini Center for the Arts is proof of Tampa Catholic's investment in the arts. The new center will be a state-of-the-art facility where students will be able to express themselves creatively while also looking at new ways of integrating technology with the arts. The Bellini Center will be the new home of Theater TC. Theater TC's fall and spring productions, as well as the annual talent show, will move into our new 800-seat auditorium. They will also be utilizing our new dressing rooms, storage spaces for props and wardrobes, stagecraft workshop, and various rehearsal spaces that our new center will have to offer. Thanks for taking a few minutes to learn about the arts here at Tampa Catholic. If you have any other questions or want to know more about what we're doing here, please visit our website at tampacatholic.org.
All right, everybody, we are back. Welcome back to Crusader Field. It's Tampa Catholic versus Cypress Creek High School football. This is the FHSAA Class 4A football championship. Again, rights to the webcast of this region quarterfinal in the 2020 FHSAA Class 4A football championships have been granted to Tampa Catholic High School social media channels by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited. For the latest news about Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds in the 2020 FHSAA football championships, visit FHSAA.com, the new official website of the Florida High School Association Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.com. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. Got caught up in that with all the F's and H's and S's and. But
I know it's a lot. I've
Max,
been there.
what's your prediction here? And now that we're wrapping up halftime, do you see them continuing to run up the score? We are going to be on a running clock here going into the third quarter. What's your prediction?
I mean, for them, just to run up the score, obviously for them it keeps the momentum going, keeps them loose and all that stuff. But that's all fine and dandy, but you don't want to do it too much to where it becomes obvious that they're just trying to absolutely bury Cypress Creek, because at that point it comes down to a matter of sportsmanship. You don't want to really, you want to win by a large score, but you don't want to rub it in their face, as it's going to be a little squib kick by Cypress Creek.
Looks like they were going for an onside kick there. Not sure why though, because they could have grabbed it and picked it up, but I didn't seem to make much of an effort to do that either.
Now let's just see if, for that, since Cypress Creek decided to go with that, let's see if at this point they've just decided to throw in the white towel and give up, or what. But
well, and again, we are on a running clock here, 41-0 with your Tampa Catholic Crusaders up.
And now let's see. Now that we're going into the second half, obviously the score, they're up by a lot. Do they stick with the run game that has absolutely just worked to perfection with them this entire game, or do they start to try and throw the ball more to mix it up?
Yeah, again, I think this is the opportunity where coaches are going to start to try maybe some underclassmen that don't get a lot of field time, maybe bring in a different quarterback, maybe try some of those plays that you weren't entirely sure about that you wanted to work on. This is where we might see some of that come out.
Absolutely. As it looks like KJ Covington is going to run it up the middle again. It's going to be a second down for the Crusaders.
And funny because normally I'm on, the production end of this, but that was number 12, Derek Mitchell, there with a carry, 6'5", 180. I mean, that is a tall young man right there.
Thank you for the correction, Johnny. They kind of got the 2 and the 1 mixed up a little bit,
Oh, it's all right.
Still trying to figure out the fog issue that we're having up here in the press box, as a flag is thrown on the field.
Sideline warning.
So sideline warning for your Tampa Catholic Crusaders. Again, these guys are fired up with 41 points on the board. I mean, can you blame them?
I don't blame it at all. I don't blame them at all, but they can't let this get out of hand, as they're going to run the ball again. It appears to be, again, number 12, Derek Mitchell. As right now, on our roster here, it says Derek Mitchell is listed as a wide receiver. So you know what? It looks like they are doing what we were talking about. They're putting those guys in that you know, they've sat on the bench. They've sat on the bench for a little bit. They've been waiting for their opportunity, and it looks like right now, head coach Jairus McIntyre is going to be giving them that opportunity.
Yeah, they've just swapped number 12 Derek Mitchell for number 20 Adrian Ramsey, who comes into the game, junior, 5'11", with a fast run up the field.
Oh my goodness! Holy Toledo! What a run by Adrian Ramsey! Oh my goodness!
And it looks like they're going to kind of cycle through some of these guys. Now we're seeing Adrian Ramsey. Oh no, maybe not. Yep, there he goes. All right, so Ramsey does come off the field after that great carry.
And it looks like coming in for the Crusaders, it will be number 11, Captain Jacob Chalou.
Number 5, Jamie Smiley, and number 25,
Ty Torgensen.
Yep. Torgensen in the backfield.
Now it's going to be another first down for the Crusaders. Let's see if they can keep it rolling here on this drive. And they're going to run the ball again up the middle. My goodness, it just seems whatever guy they put in the backfield to run the ball, they just got, their acceleration is just, it's fantastic. They get off the line so quickly, and they're able to find whatever hole that's put in front of them.
Well, these guys, again, they've been on the sidelines a little bit. They know that this is their opportunity to shine in front of these coaches and hopefully make an impression to be on the starting line for next season.
In for the Crusaders, number 16, Nick Kasmart.
And now coming in for the Crusaders is number 16, Nick Kasmart, a junior, 5'9" at 180 pounds.
He's going to be on the far left side of the field.
As they're going to run the ball again to the left side, outside, and he's going to be shoved toward the sideline, but you know what? He's just bullying his way through.
Well, moving the chains there, another first down there with that carry ending on the 5-yard line. So it's going to be first down and 5. Actually, no, it looks more like first down and 7 for the Crusaders.
Absolutely, and it is absolutely true what we were talking about earlier. They're just going through the rotation right now, getting everybody some playing time, letting them all stay loose, you know, keeping them all happy and satisfied. And now they're going to run the ball in. Oh!
There it is, touchdown.
Holy Toledo, another touchdown for the Crusaders as right now they continue to pile it on. The score is now Tampa Catholic 47, Cypress Creek 0.
Well, and here we saw on the broadcast, we see Adrian Ramsey, you know, coming off the field, having a lot of fun, big smile on his face. You know, these guys are now at this point in the game where they're secure that this is hopefully going to be a W, and now they're having some fun with it on the sidelines.
Absolutely, as they're going to go for the extra point, and it's through. And it appears to be that instead of Nick Navarro, it was their punter. Trying to find his name here.
Well, we don't seem to have a number 39 on the roster here.
I mean, if we're going to be going by a roster, it appears that the punter is number 25, Ty Torgensen, but as you said, what number was he?
39.
There it is, and our stadium announcer, David Bedencourt, does confirm it. It was Ty Torgensen with the extra point.
Well, maybe I'm the one maybe needs to refresh on the glasses here, but nonetheless, again, this is where the coaches are going to try players out in different roles, you know, where maybe they've been backup, second string, third string, and saying, okay, let's see what you got. Let's put you into some game action and see what you can produce.
Exactly. You know what? That's so important, especially going into the playoffs, because obviously they got the team that can go all the way. Is that after this game, they're either going to have to face Lakewood or Astronaut. That it may come down to one of those games where it's so hard to fought that guys are getting a little tired, where you know what, you're going to need that rotation of players. So I like the moves that they're doing. They're just trying to see what kind of depth that they have, because that can really be an advantage for them going into the playoffs.
Yeah, number 14, Savoy Fegan there tripping up the Coyotes there to hold them to about 15 yards on that return. So again, what I do like about what I'm seeing is the fact that they are still in this game and taking it very seriously.
Exactly.
They're not just opening up opportunities for the Coyotes to kind of let them do as they will. They're very much going to try to shut them out in this game, and both sides of the ball taking it very seriously. One of the things I did want to note, just noticing here on the sidelines, number 16, Nick Kesmork, actually kind of already out of his jersey. Not sure if he's having an issue with his pads, but it looks like he's already dressing down. So not sure if that means he's hurt or he's just been told he's been done for the day. But I know he had a good performance in this game.
Absolutely, and if he is hurt, it would be so unfortunate because, you know, the few plays that he's gotten in there, he's just had so much fun, and he's producing as well. So we hope the best for him.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's just walking around, hanging out, already taking his pads off. I think coaches just said, hey, man, good game. Why don't you rest off the next 2 quarters? And again, you want to start saving your starters for the next game. You know,
exactly.
Now that we can see that this is clearly going to be one in the W column.
Exactly. And now it's time for the people that have been waiting for their opportunities to shine for the Crusaders as the running clock is winding down. It is 4:25 left in the third quarter. As the Coyotes are going to go draw back the pass, a little pass over the right side. It's going to be complete. And let's see, he didn't go down, but he was still up and they called it.
Maybe I think it hit the ground. I don't know. Maybe I think the pass hit the ground there.
Let's wait to see.
Well, the chains are still showing third down.
What happened on that play?
So they might be doing the down over?
His knee was down when he caught it.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so we've just confirmed it. It appears that it was an incomplete pass as the Coyote receiver, his knee was on the ground when he caught the ball. So it's going to be a third down for them as they're going to try and pass downfield. Oh my goodness! Holy Toledo! It's picked off. Oh my goodness! Running up the sideline. Oh my goodness! Woo! Talk about balls to the wall football for the Tampa Catholic Crusaders. Oh my goodness. That was senior Jacob Chalou with the pick. And right now the Crusaders are knocking on the door again.
Well, while they're probably going to get called on unsportsmanlike conduct there, that was number 14, Carlos Gonzalez from the Coyotes, getting a little rough there on shoving the Crusader out of bounds there, but he's certainly celebrating nonetheless. I mean, obviously they're not liking this shutout so far, so I think there's a little resentment starting to grow there among the Coyotes.
Absolutely, and that could just stem from, obviously, the Crusaders have played Cypress Creek before in the past, especially in the playoffs, and has not gone exactly their way. I wonder if that is part of it. But I mean, you can't knock him. That was a tremendous play by senior Jacob Chalou. Whoa.
Holding.
There was a hold.
Yeah, holding on the Crusaders.
Okay, never mind, folks. So it looks like that flag was on
88, you said?
But they also called it unsportsmanlike.
Oh, so it was actually both calls.
Unsportsmanlike, I think, was going to be on there.
So then they walk it back up.
So we've just had a clarification. So it appears that one of the flags was unsportsmanlike conduct on Cypress Creek, and then the other flag was on holding on Crusader senior number 88, Cole Essick.
Well, that puts the Crusaders back on the 10-yard line, which, again, in great scoring position here to wrap up this third quarter.
They're going to pitch the ball outside, and he's just pretty much going to... Oh, my goodness! Well, folks, it looks like pretty much that was number 12, Derek Mitchell, that pretty much he jogged his way into the end zone for the touchdown. I mean, absolutely, that is deserving of a Holy Toledo, but it looks like that there will be a penalty on the Crusaders for excessive celebration. I mean,
dead ball, touchdown, yeah. Holding.
Hold on, folks. We're trying to get a little clarification.
So, official timeout on the field. We are waiting to get clarification on the flags that are called, but it looks like there was a holding on behalf of the Coyotes, which I think will count against them when they retake possession.
Lead blocker number 75. Jordan.
We're just gonna wait.
So it appears to be that one of the guys that made that touchdown play happen was senior lineman number 75, Jordan Sandlin, who was able to drive his way through the pile to help get to make the touchdown happen. And right now we're just waiting a little bit as the third quarter winds to an end.
Well, we see the referees are trying to get some clarification, or actually the coaches from Cypress Creek are trying to get some clarification from the officials over on the far sideline.
Definitely the Cypress Creek coaches do not appear to be happy. I mean, you know, they're trying to go out and do their best, trying to put up a good fight. Obviously, you know, so far in this game it looks like they're not going to be able to come back. But, I mean, maybe on the Crusader side it is appearing to be a little excessive. Like, I don't blame them. They're happy. They're fired up. But, you know, you got to watch out to make sure it doesn't become too much, because you don't want that confidence to become arrogance. Because sometimes that arrogance can come back to bite them.
Yeah. Well, and again, you don't want to rub salt in the wound. I mean, again, you know, one of the things that.
Okay, so we just got clarification. It was unsportsmanlike conduct against Cypress Creek. Whoa. Give us a second, folks. That was a long blown whistle by the referees.
Long whistle, short flag. But we're going to wait here to see what the call is.
I had 6 points or didn't I? Looks like I should have 6 points, yes? The guy who just scored.
You're good. You're good.
Are you sure?
You should.
Well, folks, after that blown whistle, it appears that it's going to be a lunch break right now in the middle of the game.
Thank you very much.
But now we're getting set to go again as Navarro will try again. And he's going to punch it through. So let's see.
Somehow it jumped on me. I thought it was 40, then I was going to 6.
Give us a second, folks. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulties with the scoreboard. We're trying to get you the updated score. All right, so we got the clarification for you, folks. The score is now Tampa Catholic 55, Cypress Creek nothing. As the third quarter winds to an end.
It says 56 up there right now, right? It says 56.
Football fans, the best games are yet to be played. Take plans to attend the 2020 Florida High School Football State Championship game. The intense 3A action takes place at Gene Cox Stadium in Tallahassee, December 10th through the 12th. 4A.
They didn't just make that point. They didn't just make the point.
No, they did.
55. The week of the 19th. Weekend of the 19th. Tickets start as low as $12. Come out and watch the best Florida High School football.
All right, folks, again, thank you so much for joining us for Tampa Catholic football. The Florida High School Athletic Association recognizes its corporate partners who help make the FHSAA Football Championship possible. Team IP, the official merchandising company of the FHSAA, Gatorade Thirst Quencher, Main Light Events, the official photo company of the FHSAA, Ball 4, the official supplier of championship rings for the FHSAA, Spectrum Sports, the official television partner of the FHSAA, Max Preps, official scores and statistics of the FHSAA, GoFan, official online ticket provider of the FHSAA, the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA, and Wilson, provider of the official game ball for the 2020 FHSAA Football Championships. Getting ready here to kick off the fourth quarter. 55-0 up on the scoreboard. Max Quevedo, Johnny Torres with you tonight. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. And this only means that we got more Tampa Catholic football on the way.
Absolutely, folks. You know, they definitely, if they keep playing the way they are, they can go a long way in these playoffs. You know, they want to go to a state championship, but they got to keep it up. I mean, definitely like we were talking about, it's good to have the confidence, but you can't let it turn into arrogance, especially if it does and they go into next week and then they get immediately slapped in the face.
That's the thing. You don't want to overcompensate, and take too much of what this win means into next week, because again, the Cypress Creek is going to be a very different animal than whoever they face next week.
Exactly.
All right, so another touchback by the Coyotes to put them at the 20-yard line. And the defensive line for the Crusaders out on the field.
Defense number 60, Leo Gonzalez. 55, Eddie Pierre-Louis.
One of the great things that I like, is speaking of David Betancourt, the stadium announcer here for Tampa Catholic, is they recognize, the seniors and the standout players, as they take the field during these changing possessions.
Absolutely, and coming into the game, they're continuing with the rotation. One of the players coming in to play defense for the Crusaders is number 60, Leo Gonzalez. We'll try and get you a couple more names if we can. As Cypress Creek gets set to go. They're going to run the ball again to their right side. Looks like they are going to be able to make some ground up. And there's a flag thrown on the field.
Well, and again, given the situation that this game is in, running clock, 55-0, I mean, there's no need, for these penalties to be happening. Because especially if you're playing angry, if you're playing frustrated, that's when you start to not only make mistakes, but you also run a higher risk of getting hurt.
Exactly.
Face mask against Tampa.
So it appears to be the flag on the field was a face mask against Tampa Catholic. And with that, the Coyotes are going to catch a little bit of a break as they're going to move the chains. It'll be a first down for them.
Their first down this whole game.
I agree with you, Johnny. I think that's true.
Not necessarily an earned first down, but certainly
right.
their first down they've gotten this game. So, again, at this point, I think what they're going to try to do is avoid a shutout. So we'll probably see some big plays, some big passes. Obviously, the running game didn't work.
Exactly.
And so not sure that we'll see too much more of that, even though they just tried it again. But I think certainly before this game is over, we'll see a big play here to try to prevent a shutout by the Tampa Catholic Crusaders.
After Cypress Creek got pushed back a little bit on that last play, it's 2nd and long, and they're going to run the ball again up the gut and nowhere to go. I mean, just that Crusader defense is just pushing them back. I mean, it almost seems like they are getting some ground, but you know what? They got nowhere to go.
Yeah, look, again, that wall, that green wall has been so effective today.
Oh, my goodness.
And really, I may go back to just calling it the green wave because they've actually been very effective in giving them a loss of yards. Here we had a first down and 10 for the Coyotes, and now they're at a 3rd down and it looks like 12 or 13 yards. So they continue to lose yardage here, even well into the 4th quarter of this game.
And now coming in for the Crusader defense is number 40, senior Jacob Ostrowski.
Yeah.
And
Coyotes just went with a pass out wide. That again, no gain there. It was a successful pass, but before the guy could even turn around to try to head up the field, he was surrounded by Crusader green.
Also coming in for the Crusaders is number 51, Giovanni Roberto Amisol. I believe that's how you pronounce it. You know, just trying to highlight the guys that are coming in for the Crusaders so they can get their shout out under the Friday night lights.
Yeah, look, and these are guys that you're going to be seeing a lot next year and the year after. You know, these are your sophomores or your juniors in many cases, and these are going to be your star players for next season.
Absolutely. And on 4th down, Cypress Creek will punt the ball, and it landed a little bit around midfield.
Yeah, about the 53-yard line.
About the 53-yard line, and the Crusaders are going to take over again.
Well, and again, it's going to be interesting to see what the coaches have in store here, not only in terms of the players that they're going to rotate into this offense, but also, you know, see what kind of plays they might have up their sleeve that haven't seen a whole lot of this season.
Please repeat.
So it looks like there was a flag on the play in that last possession. We're trying to get clarification from officials here on exactly what that was. But it looks like the defense is coming back out onto the field, and we're going to have a replay of the... Okay, is that what's happening?
So it appears that a water break will be called, and
All right, so not a penalty, but a water break, an official timeout here.
And a little bit of a technical correction. It seemed that the ball did land at about the 47-yard line.
Yeah. No, so right now, as they go ahead and take this water break, we'll go ahead and do this announcement here. Football fans, the best games are yet to be played. Make plans to attend the 2020 Florida High School Football State Championship games. The intense 1A to 3A action takes place at Gene Cox Stadium in Tallahassee, December 10th through the 12th. And 4A through 8A will be December 17th through the 19th, with location to be determined. Tickets start as low as $12. Come out and watch the best in Florida high school football play. Visit the FHSAA website at FHSAA.com for more information. And hopefully we'll see our Crusaders up there.
And now we're getting set to go again. Coming in for the Crusaders is number 33, Corey Lucius, and number 22, freshman Xavier Porter. As Cypress Creek drops back to pass a bomb downfield. Oh my goodness. Almost another pick by the Crusaders.
Well, number 26 there for the Crusaders. I mean, he would just had it just inches from it. And again, one of those situations where we're seeing guys on the field right now that we haven't seen much of all season, so we don't have a name for you. But, I mean, he was stretching as much as he could to get that ball almost within interception range there. And, again, could have been another unfortunate turn of events for these Coyotes.
Let's see. It's going to be a second down for the Coyotes. Let's see if they'll try for it again. As they are going to pass to the left side. A little quick pass. Oh, my goodness. Holy Toledo. A quick tackle by... It does appear to be number 27 again for the Crusaders.
That was sharp. That was fast. That was hard. A great tackle there by the Tampa Catholic Crusaders.
Now let's see if the roster's already incorrect. The Crusader with that tackle was number 27, freshman Marlon Jackson.
Well, he keeps playing like that. I mean, he could be on the starting line next year. I mean, that was a great takedown.
Shoot, maybe even special teams, because you know what? There's always guys like that, you know, they don't get so much playing time, but you know, when they do get in, they just make it happen. So it looks like, I believe that was number 40, Jacob Ostrowski for the Crusaders, that almost got a QB sack. But Cypress Creek was able to get the ball off and make a complete pass.
Yeah, look, again, you know, the Coyotes haven't been able to make a lot of progress in this game. Here they are. They had a penalty work in their favor, which we talked about not allowing them to get, but now they're using it to their advantage, and they're halfway to a first down.
Now it's going to be another 4th down for Cypress Creek, and it appears that they might be trying to go back to the mind games approach.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're in 4th down with 5 to go, 5 yards to go, and so they were trying to hopefully get another penalty here and maybe get them past that first down line, but did not work. A little bit of change in scenery here by the Coyotes, but it looks like they're still going to go for it here. And why not? You know, running clock, 55-0. Tampa Catholic Crusaders up.
And it looks like a fake punt that they're going to fire the ball downfield, but let's see. There was definitely a flag on the field. We don't know if he caught the ball or not. But either way, it looks like the Crusaders are going to take over on downs.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pass interference. We're seeing them count out the yards now. Pass interference on the Tampa Catholic Crusaders. Going 10, 15 yards here. Again, they get another first down on penalties by the defensive line. Completely unnecessary, especially, again, when you're up by 55 points.
Absolutely. And, you know, at this point, Cypress Creek is basically playing for their pride. Whatever the yards that they can get, they'll take as he throws a bomb downfield.
And that's going to be the end of the shutout.
Well, you know what? Even though they were down by 55 points, Cypress Creek did not give up at all, and they are able to chip away at the score. Not a lot, but at least it's something. So the score is now Crusaders 55, Coyotes 6.
Well, you're right. I mean, it takes a lot to stay focused, to stay hungry when you're down by 55 points, but kudos to them for not allowing the shutout. And again, this is the result of penalties, okay? And so the defensive line should absolutely take responsibility for those 6 points because they allowed it to happen. They allowed the Coyotes to move the ball down the field.
And now the Coyotes are going to go for their first extra point of the night. And it's going to be a line drive kick through the goalpost, well, the uprights. And the score is now Crusaders 55, Coyotes 7.
Yeah, 132, 131 left on the clock here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We're kind of in the low 70s tonight here along the Hillsborough River. And look, it's been a fun night. It's been a great game of high school football. We'll see. You know, a lot can be done with this minute plus on the clock. Again, running clock due to the point differential. But again, this is where what we were talking about. You hope that they don't take this into the next game, not to get too overconfident about how they're performing tonight, because that could be a huge detriment given whoever they might be going up to next week.
Exactly, Johnny. Truer words couldn't have been said.
So thank you again to all the Crusader fans that came out tonight, not only for joining us on such a beautiful night, but also for maintaining their social distance. They're wearing their masks all throughout the crowd. Great job by the staff, administration here at Tampa Catholic, too, who have provided a safe environment not only for the fans but also for the players this entire season. Not an easy accomplishment, as we've seen with so many teams that have had to miss one game, 2 games, or more, you know, due to the coronavirus.
Absolutely. They've done a tremendous job this year as the clock winds down, and that's going to do it for this ball game. And that's just another W in the win column for the Crusaders as they are moving on.
Well, and look, it wasn't fun to watch, but it was nice to see a little gut check at the end, because I think they need to remember that this is a team that is a new team, you know, fairly new school. Again, size-wise, there's a lot of disparity there between the size of the two teams, not only in the number of players, but also in the size of the players. we don't know yet who they're going to be going up against. But they need to keep that reality in check because I can assure you that the next game is not going to be this easy.
Now we're trying to pull it up for you here, folks. So I think we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast that Tampa Catholic, now that they've won this game 55-7, they will be facing either Lakewood or Astronaut. And right now that game is in the third quarter with about 7 minutes to go. Lakewood leading Astronaut 18-13. So,
do you have a choice there in who you'd rather see them go up against?
Definitely, if I had to pick, I'd rather it be Astronaut, because last year Tampa Catholic faced Lakewood in the playoffs, a tremendous team. They ended up losing a hard-fought game. And you know what? Lakewood has had some departures after last year, a couple of graduations, a couple of transfers. You know, they did lose some talent, but they are still a team to be reckoned with. So if I had my choice, I'd say Astronaut.
Yeah, well, and again here, a little bit of a miscommunication here as to end of game festivities. You know, we see some commingling between the teams. But again, with the coronavirus and all that stuff, nobody's really sure kind of what's the proper way to end these games. But nonetheless, the Crusaders are going to huddle down over just north of the 50-yard line. They'll get a speech here and a prayer from Coach McIntyre. And look, let's just hope that these guys stay healthy, stay focused, and so that we can be back here next week and bring you another exciting game of football.
Well, folks, again, that's a wrap on this game, and that's a winner for the Crusaders. They take this one by the score of 55-7. A special thanks to my co-partner for tonight's game, Johnny Torres, Falkenberg Productions, who has brought this wonderful live stream of all these home games to you. Also to David Betancourt, our stadium announcer, the administration of Tampa Catholic, Principal Bob Lees, Athletic Director Don DeZagua, and Assistant Athletic Director Benny Rodriguez. Also a special thanks to another member of our team, Courtney Frisch, who helped us get this thing together. And
she had the vision, for the live streaming of what was originally going to be just the homecoming game. And, we talked about it and said, well, why don't we do this for the whole season? And, kudos to not only Courtney, but Principal Lees for having the vision and making the investment to live stream these games for Crusaders all over the world.
Absolutely, folks. And since you did bring that up, we thank you so much for watching our home games and for supporting your Crusaders. You have been absolutely wonderful, and we hope to continue this later in the playoffs.
Just quick, I want to give a shout out to my team. Thank you for the kudos to my team at Falkenberg Productions, Lindsay Allen, who produced tonight's broadcast, Michael Racina, and Stephanie Torres on cameras. It's a lot of fun, but it's certainly a lot of hard work too to broadcast these games, but we wouldn't want to be anywhere else tonight.
Thank you, Johnny. And again, folks, your final score, Crusaders 55, Coyotes 7. On behalf of everybody at Tampa Catholic, we'd like to thank you for joining. We'd like to thank you for joining us for tonight's game and supporting your Crusaders all season long. This is Max Covedo, the voice of Crusader football, signing off from tonight, and it's so long from Crusader Field.